Oh, there it is.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by DrRoto.com.
So let's get to it.
Bring the pain!
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week from the Fight Club of Pain. Ooh, yeah, with my guy, Dan. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, I'm not too bad today, man. I'm not too bad. Work's been crazy like always, but I can't complain.
Nah, man, it's work life during the week, and then we get these nice little fights. A nice big card we have, a bunch of potentials, a bunch of easy
soup cans.
Yeah, soup cans. We have soup cans fighting ex-soup cans. So let's make us a smorgasbord, they would say.
Yeah. Let's have a buffet of soup.
Let's get the soups going. Oh man, I am so jacked up with this one. Of course, getting back to Atlanta, we've got Usman versus Buckley as the main event. Of course, we're going to be covering 4 of the fights from the main event, so we'll get to those in a minute. And we're going to cover 1 fight from the prelims because I just thought that we should be able to talk a little bit more about that fight and then that fight and see if we could pull something from it because there's some really good DFS numbers and prices on one of the fighters. Of course, why wouldn't there be? And there's some pretty decent chances for like finish, but practically that's what we're going to talk about. So anyway, Rams signing Jair Alexander today, or getting Jair Alexander.
You guys needed him. You needed him in that secondary, man.
I know. Dude, anything that helps that pass rush. People forget that the Rams signed Punta Ford. Like, they have no idea that the middle of the LA Rams line is going to smash. Yes, we're talking a little bit of football. I'm a little excited as a Rams fan. So and then I still thought our linebackers sucked. I'm a little hopeful we can get something from it, but this signing right here at least gives it. He just has to stay healthy. Of course, being a Keyshawn Nixon guy for the past few years, I've liked it when Alexander has been out, but at the same time, I know when he's in there, I know what he's capable of, and I think that's what LA needs right now. So, hey, and you guys got Aaron Rodgers, like we talked about last week, so all is good in the world of the NFL for our teams.
And DK Metcalf, man. We got DK this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, behind him, you guys really got to figure something out. Like, if you're finally going to start Roman Wilson, because
we still got Calvin Austin, and
I like him.
Well, we got old man.
Cheese.
Yeah, we got old man.
Guy, man. He's like a gimmick guy. So, I mean, he could run the ball, run slants, and stuff like that. He's good for a good probably 2-3 targets out of that offense. But, I mean, and that might be it. Maybe we don't need a second receiver to DK. Maybe we just need a bunch of receivers to catch like 40 balls this year and then go forward with what Steeler Nation would like to see, another playoff run.
I'm not guaranteeing anything.
So, everybody that has not seen the Fight Club of Pain, or is not used to what we do, we cover anywhere from 4 to 5 fights. We can talk if you have questions or anything you can always send in the comments. Make it a little PG-13 though. We ain't trying to scare everybody away. Some people get offended, but us UFC people can be wild when we start talking about blood, guts, and elbows to the face and chokeouts and people getting all demonized over here. But that's what happens. And, just got to make sure going forward, do that. But we will answer those questions accordingly. I have all of my cheat sheet right there. I'm just going to flash it because y'all don't need to see it all. And that's for all the people that pay at drroto.com. So if you're not a subscriber, get to Dr. Roto. Use code word DOC. Get a percentage off your prescription and win all of your fantasy sport leagues today. I promise you, we're going to bring the pain when it comes to football season. But let's first do that with UFC Fight Night Atlanta, Usman vs. Buckley. Ooh, yeah. Man, we're going to start it out with Soup Can Row. Woo! Cameron Smotherman versus Ricky Simon. Dang. Uh-oh. There it is.
Off. All
So,
right.
Um,
Oh, we got cut off, but
we did. Are we still live? We are
it says
still
live. It says live.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry about that. So before we went live, StreamYard sent out a message saying that they're having a lot of things going on with their background. So it literally, we were a little late on my part, but StreamYard also delayed us 5 times before we could actually go live because for some reason it's just saying that they're having a server overload right now. Everybody's going live, but we're the only ones that's going to bring the UFC fight card to you. So please hang with us. This is not our fault. Let's get to it. Dan, Smotherman versus Simon.
All right. I'm going to try my best with these two. Ricky Simon, he is a vet to the fullest extent. He's been in the UFC forever. Smotherman, he's a great pace setter, and he loves forward pressure. And he loves chaos. He loves to throw down in chaos. He likes to make the fight messy. Simon, relentless wrestling and pressure. And he loves to chain together his takedowns. He loves it. He also has really tight and efficient striking.
You're so right on that. Dude, he has so many knockouts close quarters.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to throw with him in the middle of the ring, you are going to get lit the up.
Yeah.
Literally, you're going to get lit the up.
And
Go on, Dan.
He's tight. He keeps it in tight. And he likes to fight in the box. If that's what we used to call it in boxing. He likes to fight in the box.
I wouldn't know anything about that as a point fighter because I get told to keep my hands up all the time because I want to be pretty like all these superheroes that you see on Instagram, like Bailey Murphy. Yeah. Or all my god Derek. Yeah. Woo! All right. I mean, I get it, man. I'm just like, but like, when I do have to fight close quarters, the guard's up. Because especially if I know, like, if I see the guy's going to be throwing hands, especially hands to my face and not the body, you want to raise that up a little bit or take your angles a little differently. So what I see from Smotherman, of course, it seems like his guard at times can be a little lackadaisical, but he does keep it up. He keeps it up. So he keeps it right here. Like, you can tell he was definitely trained that way. Oh, we're out again. Dan will be back as soon as it comes back in. So he's gonna be trained like this right here, right? And at the same time, Ricky, when Ricky comes in, he's gonna swing that away, in my opinion. He's gonna be able to break that down and get through it. And the huge favorite, I mean, it's a close fight right now, money wise, but at the same time, I don't think it's nowhere close because I already seen Smotherman.
Yeah.
And I just think he's boring at times. I think he's a good fighter, but like you said, I don't think he'll make the top 15. What do you think?
I don't see him making the top 15 unless he. Go ahead.
No, I was saying go on. I think the.
Oh.
So go on.
Yeah, I did. I don't see him making the top 15. He's an average fighter at best.
Yeah.
At best, both these guys. One's a vet. One's an up and comer. It doesn't excite me, but we're here to talk about it.
All right. So the reason why I called for this fight to talk about it is because DFS wise, Smotherman is one of those guys that actually is like super cheap on DK and FanDuel. And I'm trying to figure out if this fight can go the distance. Of course, right now, the sports books don't have numbers on that. They're waiting on that for us right now, even though it's Thursday. Come on, FanDuel. Come on, DraftKings. We need some numbers. But since you won't give it to them, we're going to make it up. Ricky Simon's knockout number is most likely going to be a negative. And his points in knockout is going to be probably a negative as well, too. He is clearly the favorite right now. He's 1-8. Actually, I can actually pull that up. He's a huge favorite at a negative 520 over the plus 350 for Cameron. What I would play in this fight, since they're not out, is going to be the knockout. The knockout for both fighters how this fight will end knockout is most likely going to be a plus 115 or 140. It's just worth to take it. And then from there, take your 1-2 with Ricky Simon, call it a day, if that's how you're going to play it, and then go from there. But that's how I see it's going. Who do you think's going to win? Probably Ricky Simon, eh?
Yeah, I got Ricky Simon by decision. I think it's going the distance.
Ooh, okay. So that's what's actually awesome, because as soon as I can grab my pen here, the distance on this is going to be really good. So money line decision, I'm going to say the money line is going to be a 520. Decision is going to be a plus, if they're given that big of a slate. And this is, there's no numbers out that I've seen, and I'm in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to say it's probably a plus 275. We'll go with that. A 275 and a 520 probably makes it a, I'm going to say a negative 186 on that. I'm going to write that down, because if I'm right, then all y'all know I should be working for a sports book. So, by the way, if anybody wants to go throw a comment in there, because they actually have the time to run the numbers, they can give me that number if you want. All right. So you got Ricky, I got Ricky, and that's going to be it. But I definitely think Ricky's getting a knockout, in my opinion. All right. Let's move along to the main event, or not the main event, the main card. And the first fight we're going to cover is going to be Cody Garbrandt versus Ronnie. It's Rayon. It looks like Ronnie, but I think it's Ioni Barcelos. Who do you got?
Okay, so Cody, no love Garbrandt. I didn't say no chin, but he has dynamite in his hands. He has one punch knockout power, and he's a technical striker. He's thorough in his movement, but he has decreased over the last couple years. His skills have withered away a little bit. He's going to want to use his counter strikes in this fight, which he always does. Barcelos, he's a good boxer and he has fast hands, and he likes to pressure fighters with his stand-up while trying to create that clinch.
Yep.
He has a tendency to throw too many feints. So all those feints, I think Garbrandt's just going to counter him with one of those feints. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. And you know, when I was watching the tape on both of these, of course, there's not so much on Barcelos, right? Yeah, I got it right that time, Barcelos, right? So what I like about Cody is that his pressure. He's coming forward. Of course, he's boxing. He's hitting. He's hitting his target. He knows where to go. And he has the ground and pound game. He has the submission game involved. He has everything involved. But mostly, what I think, like what you were saying about Barcelos, is that he's going to try to take this down. He uses his boxing to set up his grappling. Now, I know that when you look at his boxing, you look at his 5.11 punches thrown per minute, and you're like, all right, Cody has a good defense, both a 60% on striking and an 80% on wrestling. So if he's and with the 53% on takedown average for Barcelos, it's going to average out for me that he's going to attempt around 4 to 5, and he's going to maybe get 2 to 3 takedowns. So if there's a +1 on the takedown, it's most likely going to be a negative. Then just take it, because he's going to get one. But I didn't like what I saw with the hands at times. And I think that if you can't shoot forward when you're going backwards, getting punched in the face. So for me, I think the key, of course, to Cody is to go forward and not let Barcelos get comfortable to where he's got Cody moving backwards and able to shoot and get it down. Because if that happens, the sub in the second and third round at +950 is live. And that's what we do at the Fight Club of Pain. Who do you got, Dan?
I got Cody Garbrandt by second round knockout.
I love it. Because I got Cody Garbrandt too. I have there's the first and second round is a +500. I'm hitting it. Second and third round is a +800. Hitting it. I even went and did the knockout for this fight alone is a plus 155. You can easily hedge yourself, easily, right now. And if you feel like you need some exposure to Barcelos, then take if you go under with that and with Cody, you go under and you take his money line, you get a plus 104. And so that kind of brings that up a little bit for you. And then no, it's a plus 327. I was wrong. I looked at the other end. Sorry about that. So Cody Garbrandt under money line plus 327 parlayed. That's how you do it. Hit the knockouts, hit that, hit Cody with points, and you'll have everything covered that you need. Because right now, they have distance as yes and no. It's a negative 102 and a negative 124, respectively. And the under's a plus 104. So let's just get the under. Let's hit the plays. Let's cover. And throw in the Barcelos second to third round submission to CYA. Yeah. Woo! I like it. Look at us, man. We're already on track until the main event, of course, because it seems like we always go 50-50 on that.
Yeah.
That's all right. All right, everybody. Let's get to Edmen Shabazian versus Andre Petroski. Man, talk about it.
All right, Shabazian, man, he's a quick striker, and he likes to use his leg kicks to find distance. He wants to keep his distance and find a way to the second half of this fight because he's not going to beat Petroski in the first round and a half. He's not going to.
No.
He wants to clinch and land to the body with those knees that he always throws. He throws them in every fight. Just the clinch, knees to the body, and just to slow Petroski down because Petroski's the bigger, faster, and stronger fighter. And Petroski's a massive submission threat.
Yes.
But Petroski also wants to avoid a brawl with Shabazian.
He's going to have to, honestly.
He's going to look to control the distance, and Petroski does have power, and he loves to throw that looping overhand right hand.
He's sloppy, man.
Sloppy.
That shit annoys me.
It
annoys me, man.
It's just way up here.
It is.
Yeah, it's over his head.
That's funny, Dan. So, exactly. I do think that Petroski is live for the submission. Second, third round, plus 1,200. Also want to just take a step back. Second round knockout for Cody Garbrandt is a plus 1,400. I already told you how you're going to win money on this. Let's get it. All right. And then for Shabazian, knockout in the 1 and 2 is a plus 190. Distance in money line. If for some reason this fight can go distance in money line for Shabazian is a plus 427. But of course, I have the knockout in sub as a negative 115, which means the sportsbook are heavily favoring the people. The bets are heavily favoring Edmen, and Edmen being the favorite, of course, should get it done. But that doesn't always happen, man. That's why I talk about it. In this fight, the knockout is a plus 100. So if you feel uncomfortable and you don't want to play any of that, you don't think it's going to go the distance, throw in that knockout bet, plus 100, you'll double your money, and then you'll get it. And that's what I got. So who do you got winning?
I got Edmen Shabazian by decision. I think it's going the distance.
Nice. Well, just like last week, just like your call last week, man. You know, when you took who'd you take again? Was it you? It was who fought?
Oh man,
I went what?
I went 4-1 last week, right?
Yeah, you went 4-1. I know who you took. You took your boy Mario Batista. Batista in distance at the plus 222 that we gave out. Smash. Nobody was thinking that. And of course, I had to take my patchy Mick ass back and had to patch myself up with a bunch of stitches. Because, man, that boy's lip took a lot of abuse in that.
He sucks. He sucks.
Dude, he's way. I never seen him move like that. I was like, come on.
That's because you never seen him fight anything but a soup can. That's it.
Okay. All right. You were talking up with him, man. I said, hey, get him. Good job. This guy over here goes right under that post and be like, he's a soup can. Don't chalk him up, Rob, or something like that. I'm like, what the dude.
Yep.
I'm like, oh man,
he's a bum.
So
That's what I said.
We're here to bring the pain to the X, but by the way of UFC now. We're gonna talk shit to fighters.
He's a bum.
I have Edmund too, of course. We definitely. Oh boy, oh boy. I think he'll be back. He just needs like Pitbull. He needs somebody to know his skill ring so he can get some confidence.
Yeah, and he's somebody in the minor leagues.
They don't want him anymore. He couldn't come to deal with the Bellator, so they're just out on him. All right, let's move along to the co-main event. We got Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick, the number 7 and number 10th ranked fighters in their respectable division of flyweight. Dan, talk about it.
Ex-champ Thug Rose, man. She's a very, very technical striker. And when she wants to be, she is. She hasn't looked like the champ since she lost the belt, though. She hasn't looked very crisp in her stand-up, and she hasn't done anything off of her back in the last few fights. She wants to look to settle in and throw those crisp combos and leg kicks that we're used to seeing out of her. Maverick, she's on a 4-fight winning streak. She's very consistent in her stand-up, but she's not heavy-handed. She will not knock you out. She will not put you on your butt. She's a submission specialist. And she's very strong for this weight class. She wants to keep it close and avoid a kickboxing fight with Thug Rose.
Yeah, I agree with that, dude, man. Holy crap. These two are like firecrackers. And here's the thing. This is going to be actually the first time I'm watching Thug Rose live. So we all know I'm a rookie, so I have to go watch all the tape, all the previous fights. But the thing is that all of the fights that we've been doing and covering of all the previous cards has led to Rose so many times. That's all anybody talks about is Rose, 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 right? So if they're talking that much about Rose, I go into these videos and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, okay, I get it. Then I get over to Miranda Maverick and I'm like, wait a minute, what's up with Miranda Maverick here? Like,
she's good, man. She's good.
She is. I like her style, like as a point fighter. It reminded me a lot of myself. She did like the leaping back fit or the reverse punch, the way that I would execute a blitz. So it was really nice to see that. I did see her come up kind of weird in a couple fights of hers. Like sometimes there's a pause while she's mid strike. And at those points, I seen her get popped in the mouth. It didn't affect her much. I think Rose can take advantage of that. I don't know if the power is going to be there to be able to knock her out. What do you think about that?
Well, speaking of Rose Namajunas, man, she knocked out my favorite female fighter of all time in Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Knocked her out with a head kick. Okay. So she does have power. She does have power.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's carried to this long in her career, though.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can agree with that too. And you have Miranda coming in, and sometimes Miranda can be, like I said, reckless, but the power's there. You know, she's looking to get in there and strap it up and try to move up in this division. This is really her chance, and she's fought just as good too. So for me, when I looked at a lot of the numbers for this fight, of course, the distance on a yes is a negative 550. The points is a negative 550 for overall to happen in this fight. And then, you know, for me, the distance to not go is the plus 350. Everybody in the world, everybody is thinking that this fight's going to go the distance. However, when I was looking over the knockout, and I think a knockout is possible by either one of, you know, either Rose or Miranda, is a plus 750 alone for them. So if you want to get a little froggy and you're going to earn a little extra money, the plus 750 is perfect for you. And then if you go, yes, goes the distance, and you pick Rose, you're going to get a negative 163 on your parlay, because you're going to need something to make that negative 500, or what was it? that negative 250 come up a little bit. And that's not really bad and that's what sucks about that distance being so high, because you can't even do it. And I think the over 2.5 rounds is negative 650. So for me, we're not going to make a lot of money on this. Let's take the little bit of distance. Of course, like I said, it's going to be, for Rose, it's going to be a negative 163. So I'm going to throw a unit down on that. I'm also throwing a unit down on straight up knockout for this fight. And I also want to run it back with Maverick, because I do feel this fight has a lot of chances to go the distance. And I think that Maverick, kind of like what we were trying to get at with Smotherman, if these two can somehow weather the storm and get through, and I think Maverick can do it. I think everybody thinks she can do it. She's one of the cheapest fighters on the DFS slates right now. So it doesn't matter if she loses. Let's get her in there. She's going to get enough action. She definitely likes to strike. And her, with distance, and her plus 190 actually gives us a plus 236. So I'll throw down a unit on that as well too. And the theory is that if the knockout happens, I'm covered. Either fighter wins, I'm covered. And now I'm going to hope for that DFS hit to come through, because when we get to the DFS lineups, we'll start talking about that. But so who do you think wins this fight?
I think Rose Namajunas wins this fight by decision.
I agree with you that 100%. And I just, it sucks, but I think that Maverick is straight a DFS play. But like always, there's always some crazy little thing up my sleeve. And so Maverick is 7,100 on DraftKings. And, I look at all her 3 rounds, and that favors her, so you won't have to worry about her gassing out. And her last couple of fights, though, were wins. She was able to land 2 takedowns. She was able to control 6 minutes, 50 seconds. We got 8 minutes, 7 seconds, 3 minutes, 5 seconds. Now, of course, her significant strikes are around the 30 mark, except when she fought Lee, which was up to 66. So I think she can live. I think she can put enough points out losing to get you that 71 to return your value. So she's clearly, but knockout, 2nd to 3rd round, Maverick, plus 4,100. I'm playing that. And submission, 2nd, 3rd round, plus 2,400. Do you think she can get Rose to tap or knock out Rose?
I mean, anything's possible.
Okay.
Anything's possible.
I mean, of course. We're looking at that. Where did my sports book go? Oh, there it is. So when we go to Rose, why I asked that is because Rose is a plus 1,400 for 1 to 2 and a plus 1,900 for 2 to 3. Rose Namajunas, thanks for correcting me, 2nd to 3rd round knockout, plus 1,900. Say it with your chest. Ooh, yeah, that's my pick. I'm slamming it. That's a bold pick right there. Let's get it done. And cover yourself with other stuff. Just do like a half unit on that other playful stuff I talked about. Okay, Dan, it's time to get to the main event. It's time for Usman versus Buckley. What do you got?
Kamaru Usman. He is one of the top 3 welterweights of all time.
I'll not argue that.
He has 19 months without a fight. Mm-hmm. He's been sitting on the bench for 19 months. And I say it every time we talk about it. Ring rust is real.
Yes.
He's an elite wrestler. He has cardio for days, and he has relentless chain wrestling, which means he will take you down over and over and over. His wrestling and his top control are his safest bet in this fight. And he's going to look to grind out rounds in the clinch against Buckley just to tire him out. He's also an underrated striker. He has a couple knockouts to his name. I mean, everybody knows when he destroyed Masvidal's face. Everyone has seen that.
Yeah.
But Buckley, he's on a 6-fight winning streak, and he has explosive power in both his hands, man. He's very aggressive. He has great takedown defense, and he wants to keep this fight standing. He does not want to get drug into deep water with Kamaru Usman.
No, I agree with that. Go on.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
All right.
That's all I got.
In there. Everything you said is completely 100%. You're looking at the young and up and coming kind of Buckley, and then you got Usman, who's coming back, paycheck or not. He's going to make this fight entertaining. Of course, the distance, yes, is a plus 118. So the sport books don't think that this fight finishes, and the under 4.5 rounds is a negative 130, with the no on the distance being a negative 150. So the sport books are thinking, and on top of that, knockout is a negative 130. And they're practically respecting what Buckley can do. And if they're respecting Buckley that much to give him a negative 130, or the fight a negative 130, that's almost where you have to go. If you're going to make a little bit of money, you could go ahead and throw 2 units down on that. It seems a little wide, but for me, I think Buckley wins. I'm going to take it. I'm going to get it before you get to it. I'm going to say Buckley wins for me because I love how crispy is going down. And you just said it again. We say it week in week. What's the biggest thing? Fighters that move up, unknown fighters have been losing a lot this year. They're untested. We saw it with Patchy Mix. We see it with Pitbull. And now we have Usman. No matter how amazing his aura is, he's going to come back. He's going to be fit. But if you take that much time off from the ring, sometimes the game isn't slow anymore. It's a little fast. And if that game is too fast for him to see, and that speed on top of that power is Buckley, I think he gets knocked out. Knockout, second, third round, and fourth round for Buckley is a plus 340. Round 1 knockout for Buckley is a plus 650. They think, and it's not to say anything about Usman. Usman's knockouts for the first and second round is a plus 952. So Buckley's going to make a statement and say, I want in the top 5. Then he's got to knock him out. We said this last week. No matter that, I was all over Sean O'Malley's and all of the new ways, and I wanted to get bold. I went bold with 2 calls, and it cost me a perfect card, and that is fine. Because just like we said, when somebody needs to make a statement, they make a statement. And the Marab submission, second, third, and fourth round plus 1,900 came through because everybody didn't think, the sports book didn't think it was going to happen. And that is why I talked about hot streaks on my recent Heatastic review. I mean, they exist, Dan.
They do.
They do. It's all about the power. So who do you got?
I think the old lion reclaims his throne right now.
I knew you'd pick him.
I think he comes back. He drags him into deep water, and I got Usman by 4th round TKO.
Woo-wee. All right, we're good. I know. I'm like, give me that second and third. Ooh.
4th round TKO. Drags him into the deep. He's going to drag him into the deep water.
Plus 3,100. Wow. And now, so of course, what we're going to do. We're going to go right down to Usman, 3rd and 4th round knockouts, a plus 1,500, and 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round is a plus 900. I love the way that sounds. I cannot disagree with you about the way that Usman could get this. He definitely could get the ground and pound on Buckley. He could end his streak. But Buckley, man, he's trying to get that 7. And that's why I think that when you look at the knockout being the negative 130, that's why they respect it. They respect what Usman can do, and they respect what Buckley can do.
Well,
so
one thing,
they have a great one. Go on.
One thing I did forget to mention is Buckley has never been in a 5-round fight in his career.
That's right. That's right.
And he's only went to decision a handful of times, and he's gassed out every time.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's why we're hitting these late round knockouts and subs, Dan.
So
because go on.
If Usman could take him in the deep water, he could ground and pound him.
Yeah. And the thing is we've been able to nail. I know that I go second, third, and fourth, but we do Dan throws in the rounds, and so I'll dance around it. But these rounds have hit for us. These have hit for us with the Fight Club of Pain. So I'm going to talk us up because, the UFC sheriffs are in town and we're out here spitting the knowledge. We're spitting the numbers. We're trying to make all of you money. And that's how you do it. When you get that 3,100, that's all you need. Again, as a fighter, you can understand that there's always a way. There's a path of victory. That's why Smotherman is so intriguing DFS wise. It's worth a shot. I'm not looking for Smotherman to win. I'm not looking for Maverick to win. But if I can get 3 solid striking rounds out of them, 45 strikes at least, they can score me 40, 50 points, 38 points. I'm fine taking that because, man, Smotherman is literally cheap as shit. So, all right. You made a lot of bold calls, Dan. We've made bold calls throughout this entire episode. So let's round out a few more. Of course, I've already said the Rose second and third, 1,900. There's some heat for Cody Brundage. One of the guys I watch, Jacob, he loves Cody and he knows him personally, and he doesn't give a shit about Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik is my pick to win that fight, but Cody Brundage knockout in points is a plus 700. Abdul Malik isn't always the most aggressive fighter. Nope. If Cody Brundage can get him in there, you know a little bit about Cody Brundage.
Yeah. I like Cody Brundage.
Yeah. So you agree with that, right? You think there's a path for victory?
There is.
I don't know if he can get him to go the distance, but maybe he can. And it's worth the 700 because if he can just somehow get in there and get that, it's that. So I'm all down for it. I'm gonna follow that a little bit. But of course, I am taking Malik. That's going to be my pick overall. And I want to throw another thing out there. Garbrandt round 1 knockout is a plus 850. It is hella possible, people, that Cody Garbrandt, and Dan will be back, Cody Garbrandt knocks out Ronnie Marcellus in the first round easily. Man, at 850, it's worth a shot. Plus, if you're late getting in here, you're going to have to rewind the show and go get the other numbers. And I want to say thank you to everybody that is watching this show live right now as we get to the DFS section. Dan, have you put your lineup together?
I did.
Ooh, who do you got?
I got Usman. I got Maverick. Garbrandt.
Okay.
Sai. Michael Chiesa. And Bellato.
I like it. I like it all. Bellato. Man, he destroyed me 3 weeks ago, man. But he's back. He's back to make that play, make that thing. All right. So I decided to take this is going to be my first DFS lineup. This is for DraftKings. Both of those Dan's lineup was for DraftKings. This is for DraftKings as well. I'm going to go Barcelos, Smotherman, Craig, Simon, Wellmaker, Abdul Malik. The key to that one, of course, is getting Smotherman cheap. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to let you know, FanDuel priced Simon appropriately, but DraftKings did not price Simon appropriately. DraftKings has Simon as 8,700, which puts him in the middle of the pack, whereas FanDuel has, and I don't have FanDuel pulled up, but I will in a second, I'm pretty sure Simon's a 9,300. And when I pull this up, we're going to see it real quick. Where's he at? Boom. We'll get it. Because I couldn't even get him in. Because I was going other directions. So no, actually they don't do 9,300. He's $20. So Simon is the 4th expensive time. He's tied with Horth for the fourth expensive fighter. So the most expensive fighter on FanDuel is Wellmaker, Abdul Malik, Sai, and Simon. FanDuel priced him up. DraftKings did it. The $8,700 on DraftKings is a phenomenal price to get him in. So, of course, you got to make sure you have Simon in. I love the Maverick pick myself. Here's the DraftKings lineup that I'm making live right now. I don't have a lot of Chiesa in there, but I'm going to let that go. I'm going to get it. So I'm going to come down. The Losa Rowe fight really does. It's kind of intrigues me. That's the middle of the road right there, because everybody kind of separates after that, because Losa is 8,400 and Phil Rowe is 7,800, and Phil Rowe can win that fight. He has a lot of power, but he starts out slow. He has a 6.5-inch reach. But man, Losa comes at you the whole time, pressures. He tries to strikes. He tries to get it down, man. So, that's his takedown method. I think if he comes in, that Phil Rowe looks pretty juicy. But I'm going to take Cody Garbrandt as well, too. I'm also going to come down. I think Paul Craig can hang with Bellotto. Paul Craig is 6,900, and that allows me 2 positions at 9,800. So that gives me Wellmaker and Abdul Malik. If for some reason I want to come off of Paul Craig, I can don't get up to McGee. McGee can win that fight, but Chiesa is going to run through him, and that because McGee's just going to try to wrestle. So that's your lineup right there from me. That's a good thing for Michael Chiesa too, though. I mean, that's a good thing if he wants to wrestle him. He's like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu ace. He's one of the best submission. He's one of the best submission guys in the UFC. You see, now you say that, and they probably don't even have the numbers out for that, because I've been waiting on some of these numbers with these other plays, because I like Bellotto too. I do like Bellotto, but again, DFS wise, we're trying to get that. We're trying to gauge those prices right now. So these lineups will change. I will have at least 1 or 2 more lineups on both sides. Plus, I haven't even given out my FanDuel lineups. The pricing was a little crazy there, but I was able to get a lot of great value in the lower end. So that'll be in the subs only Discord on Dr. Roto. So you have to get that. But I like what you said about Chiesa. If it's not there, I'm going to make up a random submission. Oh, they got it. Yes.
Oh, that's my sleeper pick for this whole thing. Michael Chiesa, first round submission.
Yep. Right now, first and second round submission is a plus 310. And when you go method and round, Chiesa first round submission, 550. I love it. I'm smashing that. People, let's smash it. Let's win some money. It's almost football season. We're building these bankrolls through UFC and baseball. You can catch my betting articles not live, on drroto.com. Both Saturday and Sunday, I do about 5 safe bets, 5s, and I throw in a ton of parlays. And on Saturday, I will have a knockout parlay and a home run parlay, like I always do. Maybe I'll throw in some RBIs too. Like, we're just getting out, man. All right, I think that wraps up the show. Again, thanks everybody that watched it. Dan, thanks again for another great show.
Anytime, man.
I think we're going to win some money, man. I'll be seeing you soon, because I'm going to have some beers, man.
Yeah. Next week I'm on vacation, but I'll still log in for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's how I'm going to see you.
That's not next
but
week,
then the
that's
week after.
Or the week after. Sorry, not next week. The week after.
But so Dan's gonna take these beers on vacation with him, and then he's gonna have them, and we'll talk about them on the Fight Club of Pain when we get to UFC 317, because he's coming out of vacation to actually go live for all of you to make sure I ain't running solo. So I do thank you for that, because you are like literally my right to my left wing.
No worries, man. I love doing it.
All right, everybody, have a great day, and always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah. That's it.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.